Hello, everyone. Today we are here with Sandeep ji and Aditya ji. Today we're going to be discussing upcoming events and Saturn Jupiter conjunction. So, welcome, Sandeep ji and Aditya ji.
Thank you.
Namaste, Naji. Thank you. So I think Aditya will share some slides first. So we'll follow that first. Yeah.
Yes,
So
I
Aditya will
think
take the
I'm
lead.
audible. I'm audible. My speech is
Yeah.
clear.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I can hear you. Yeah. I think your
Okay.
screen is screen is shared. Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
So I guess the year 2021 is again 2020 was definitely a roller coaster for everyone, I guess. But let's see what is the position of different planets and what are the important transits and how especially Jupiter is going to transit in 2021. So the first thing before we even let's understand before even stepping to 2021, let's understand what's happening in the sky. And let me share my screen. um, okay, let me share my screen. I hope you can see my screen clear.
Yes. Now it's visible. Yes. You can see the Jupiter Saturn conjunct thing. Yeah.
First let me talk about Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. uh, is there any disturbance from outside? Maybe. Or is there any disturbance? The sound of
I
No,
vehicle
we
and
can. We no, not a problem. No, we can. It's not a big. We can hear you quite fine.
okay.
yes.
So okay. So Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. First of all, let's talk about it, which is occurring not in the year 2021, but just definitely just maybe another 2 weeks from now, on December 21st, 2020. So in this year, and even if you now you go outside and see in the sky after sunset, probably in the western sky, you will see these two planets shining very brightly out. I think it is the most brightest object in the evening sky after the sunset. uh, you can see Jupiter and Saturn very close. So I will say start watching from today onwards in the evening sky, and then daily make your observation. Not even if you don't want to make daily, at least make 3 or 4, like every alternate days or every 2 days. Just observe them and see how they come close to each other. Still, even now it's very close, but on December 21, 21st, it's much closer, 1.1 degrees away in the plane of the sky. Now, don't confuse with that with ecliptic coordinates. In ecliptic coordinates, if you go in typically what we study in astrology, they will show that it's exactly same degrees and all, and same minutes probably. But when you talk about it in the sky, it is just 0.1 degrees. Now, just to give a feel of what is zero point 0.1 degree, if you take the full moon or take the size of the sun or take the size of the moon, that size is full moon, it's about half a degree, zero point 0.5 degree. And this Jupiter and Saturn are coming to zero point 0.1. So the separation distance between the Jupiter and Saturn is 1/5 of the full moon. So they are very close, in fact, and it is a fun to watch. I do the I'm seeing it every evening. But as you do for several days, you will see you will understand how they come closer. Yes, much separated now, but as days pass by, it will much come closer. Some people say that it has not come this much close in the last 800 years. Okay, of course they used to come together. It happened somewhere 20 years back. I think in 2001 or 2000, somewhere around that. That time, I guess Jupiter and Saturn came together in the sign of Aries. I still remember that. It was 2001 or 2000, something like that. You can just check, but maybe I was half of my age right now. But anyway, just see this and try to. I think it's a much astronomically also it's a much great sight to see these days in the evening sky. But what about astrologically? We will discuss what is going to happen in Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. But I strongly suggest you to go and watch in the evening sky. And no matter, even if you're in city, you'll be able to see these two planets, I guess. Saturn will be little bit difficult to see from Mumbai, so I guess from other cities, but definitely much in rural areas. But easily you can see Saturn also from a city like Mumbai. So you can see these two planets very easily. Okay, now let me talk about what are the different positions of Jupiter and Saturn in the year 2021. So Jupiter and Saturn right now they have finished their retrograde motion, and then now they are direct. At present they are direct. They will be direct, and the Jupiter will start retrograde motion from 20th June to 18th October. That's the period when Jupiter is going to get retrograde in the year 2021. Saturn is going from 23rd May to 11th October. So Saturn is going a month before Jupiter going retrograde. So Saturn is, I think, yeah, makes sense. Saturn definitely the retrograde period of Saturn is a little bit more than Jupiter. Okay, and from May, June to till October, you have the retrograde periods of Jupiter and Saturn. So about you can say June, July, August, September, and maybe around 4.5 months. Okay, and then I would like to say I'm giving you the positions of Jupiter. Of course, this is for Jupiter transit, but I just thought maybe Saturn also I will just mention. What are the positions of Saturn and Jupiter on these dates? 23rd May, 20th June, 11th and 18th October. You can see on 23rd May, Jupiter has gone to Aquarius 7 degree. Okay. And Saturn is at Capricorn 19 degree. Now this is important 23rd May because Saturn is going retrograde. So Saturn is at Capricorn 19 degree. Jupiter is at Aquarius 7 degrees. So you can understand that Jupiter is going in Aquarius. Right now it is in Capricorn. I guess it is in Capricorn, what degrees? Around 7 degrees, something. I don't know. Maybe 4 degree, I guess.
Yeah,
so you can see,
I think 2 degree or something like that right now.
Yeah, something around 2 degree, 3 degree, something around 4 degrees, something. I don't know. Very early degrees of Capricorn. Jupiter is going to Aquarius 7 degrees on this. Jupiter is really going in a motion right now. On 20th June, 20th June is when the Jupiter is going retrograde. It is Aquarius 8 degrees and Saturn Capricorn 19 degrees. So you can see that Jupiter has gone Aquarius 8 degree or even 7 degrees. In fact, it's the Shatabisha Nakshatra. So right now it is in Uttarashada. Then it is going crossing the Shravana. Then it is crossing Dhanishta. And by around May, it has already gone in the early parts of Shatabisha. Okay, so it is really in a very speedy motion. Jupiter is really going very speedy these days. And on 11th October, Jupiter is, because you can see from 20th June to 18th, so Jupiter comes to Capricorn 28 degrees. So it has changed the sign, of course, changed the nakshatra. So, and Saturn is coming to Capricorn 13 degrees. But remember, no, these periods are retrograde periods. So that's why it is coming behind. Okay, Aquarius to Capricorn. On 18th October, again Jupiter Capricorn 28 degrees, Saturn. Little bit minutes difference are there, but here we are only talking about degrees, so I have not mentioned about minutes and all. But there's a difference in minutes. So overall, what I'm telling you is Jupiter is going right now. It is in Capricorn. On 6th April, it will move in Aquarius sign. Okay, and if we still go further, Aquarius till May, it will go till 7 or 8 degrees, May, June, around May. And then again, it will start retrograding. That means it comes back, and on 14th September, it goes into Capricorn again. Okay, and then Jupiter will go maximum retrograde at Capricorn 28 degrees. Then it will further move direct. It will become direct. It will cross Capricorn on 20th November. So from 14th September to 20th November, around 2 months time, Jupiter will be in Capricorn. So if you see the motion of Jupiter in the year 2021, most of the time it's in Capricorn. Most of the time it's in Aquarius, I should say. Aquarius and Capricorn both are equal actually, 5-6 months here and there. So to talk about Jupiter's transit in the year 2021, we have to consider both, sometimes Aquarius, sometimes Capricorn, because 14th September to 20th November, it will be in Capricorn. And from January to end of almost 6th April, it will be in Capricorn. So January, February, March, around say 3.5 months till 6th April. So 3.5 months, it will be in Capricorn plus 2 months. So around 5.5 months, a little less than 5.5 months. So it is in Capricorn, and the next 7 months, it will be in Aquarius. So it's some 5 and 7 months. So it's like almost 6 and 6 months. So it's like half the time it's in Capricorn and half the time it's in Aquarius. Okay, so that's the situation for Jupiter. Saturn is very easy. Saturn is a little bit slow. And you can see the Saturn is all the time over the entire year, it's in Capricorn. So we don't have to worry that much. Okay. And most of the time, Saturn, it takes about what? How many years to revolve? 29 years, 29.5 years to be precise. We have 27 nakshatras. So you can say Saturn, almost the speed of Saturn is one nakshatra per year, almost, on a very average thing. Okay, so this year in 2021, Saturn will be mostly, it will be spending its time in our Shravana nakshatra. Mostly, of course, it will be here and there a little bit, but mostly. So that's the scenario for Jupiter and Saturn. One more interesting thing which I want to mention in the year 2021 is on 11th February, which some people you may have realized on 11th Feb 2021, there's a heavy conglomeration of planets happening in the sign Capricorn. So I've given you the dates, the position of planets on this date of 11th Feb 2021. Sun will be at 28 degrees of Capricorn, Moon will be at 18 degrees of Capricorn. I know Moon takes 12 degrees for around 12 to 13 degrees one day. So it will change within 1 or 2 days. It will go from out of Capricorn and come in, like it will be out of Capricorn on both the sides. Mercury 23 degree, Venus 18 degree, Jupiter again 18 degrees. So Venus and Jupiter are almost like conjunct there. Like both the gurus are coming together in the sign of Capricorn. I think exactly Mahabali stories may be happening there probably. I can see. If you remember the story, correct? Venus and Jupiter is like Vaman Avatar. But anyway, I think Sandeep may talk a little bit more on that. Saturn is in 12 degree of Capricorn. So how many planets? Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. Everything is in Capricorn. So there are 6 planets coming together in the sign of Capricorn. And if you consider Rahu is in Taurus right now. Correct? So it will aspect Capricorn 2 through his 9th aspect if you consider. So Capricorn is really getting affected because of all these transits. If Capricorn gets affected, remember what's opposite of Capricorn, even Cancer sign. So Cancer sign is also something which you have to consider. So if you have a Cancer Lagna or a Cancer Moon or a strong Cancer sign, or where you have in fact, in your natal chart where you have a lot of planets in Cancer, which is opposite of Capricorn, then something significant event can happen during this time too, 11th Feb 2021. Watch out for those. And in fact, I will say that this, let me mention about Pluto. If you want to consider outer planet, Pluto is also at 1 degree Capricorn. So Pluto is also in Capricorn. So even if we don't consider outer planets, we still have effects of about 7 planets in Capricorn. So everyone has we all have a chart, birth chart. If we have a birth chart, we have some 12 houses. In those 12 houses, we will have Capricorn. Depending upon your Lagna, where the Capricorn will be different. Some may have Capricorn in the Lagna, some may have Capricorn in the 4th house, some may have Capricorn in the 10th house, some may have Capricorn in the 12th house, whatever it is. There is going to be heavy transit of planets on the Capricorn. So that is heavy transit of planets in whatever houses your Capricorn sign is. So the effects of those houses will be enhanced. Okay, or you will be experiencing more. And also, as I said, don't just look Capricorn, also take consideration into Cancer, which is the sign opposite of Capricorn. So these things are really interesting things that are going to happen. Jupiter and Saturn dance in 2021. Jupiter and Saturn coming very close in the next 2 weeks. And this February 11th, I think it's a pre-Valentine effect for all of us. These planets are going to give. So it will be a fun time, I guess, 2021 too. So let's see. That's all I have. I just wanted to show you what's special in 2021. Of course, there will be eclipses and all happening right now. Soon, in the next few days, we are going to have eclipse. So eclipses always happen twice in a year because of one where Saturn is one where Sun is with Rahu, and other after 6 months approximately where Sun is with Ketu. So every year there will be 2 eclipse seasons as usual. Now it's in December, so we will have eclipse season coming in sometimes in May or June, and then after that there will be eclipse season coming in the month of November also in 2021. Okay, so these things, these are the what planetary, I think, movement in 2021. Now we will try to understand what's going to happen, what are the effects. I just wanted to show you astronomically what's happening in the sky.
Right. So Aditya, tell me, can you So let's start off with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which I think is going to happen, in 21st December. So now I think December 21st is also the solstice day, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah.
So that's also it's an important thing. So what do you think about that? What do you think could be the potential events? What should be watching out for? What is special about this? What is special about this conjunction? In how often do we see this and all that?
Jupiter and Saturn conjunction, as I said, they don't much come closer. Around every 19 or 20 years, they say Jupiter and Saturn always come together. Okay, every last time, as I said, it was in 2000 or 2001. I don't remember yet. See the date. I can check it and let you know. But somewhere around that time, it was in Aries. So now it has again come together. Remember what happened in 2000. So major changes and all, 2001 and all. I don't know where in 9/11, if you put the date, what was the, I don't know where Jupiter and Saturn were. I don't know. Maybe somewhere around that time. If you can check the position of Jupiter and Saturn during 9/11. Maybe Navji, if you want, you can check.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah. So anyway, so Jupiter and Saturn both are heavy planets, and as I told you, there are significant events that may be happening. Let me check. I'm also curious to see what's the position of Jupiter and Saturn.
Now, what is interesting is that, in my view, so solstice is the darkest day of the night, right? So darkest day of the year. So it's like it's the day when I think the day is the shortest on that particular day, and night is the longest on that particular day also. So that's also, I mean, that's also very, very, very significant in my view. Like I think that's a very intense day we have. No matter what. Yeah, when December 21st, it is actually happening. So it's almost like you have an opportunity here to actually look at the deepest aspect of yourself, the deepest, darkest aspect within yourself very strongly. In my view, like, I think that conjunction is also very powerful. I think I read somewhere about this astrologer was saying that whenever Saturn Jupiter conjuncts in a particular sign, the next conjunction happens, as you said, in 20 years' time, Aditya, as you said, in 20 years' time. Remember, this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction is actually happening in the Earth sign of Capricorn. Now, what he was trying to say is that for the next 20 years, you'll begin to see Earth-related themes literally going through a big transformation and so forth. Now, this could mean that financial transformation, like many people will be starting to think differently about their finances. They'll be starting to think differently about the way how they are making money in their life. So they will start to think very strongly about their career. And one way or the other, career will be impacted. Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, I can definitely say that. But the fact that it's happening on solstice day is that you'll begin to see the darkest aspect of your job. The other thing you'll begin to see, you'll see that, okay, you know what, I don't like this job. Maybe I need to change this thing, or maybe this is not who I am. All that kind of internal self-reflection kind of aspect can become very, very strong, in my opinion. Now, the thing in my opinion also is that with Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, there are some very good things you can do around this time also. The best thing you can do is actually to observe Saturn-Jupiter conjunction on that particular day. When the exact moment Saturn-Jupiter conjunction is happening, just going and connecting with that energy, as Aditya said, in the evening sky, just go and look at it, connect with that energy of Saturn-Jupiter. Now you have both the natural ninth lord of the natural zodiac and the natural 10th lord of the natural zodiac coming together also. So whatever intentions you set around that exact moment will manifest over the next 20 years. If you want to change your financial future, this is the time period you need to be making that intention. Now you can do this in many ways. Now exact moment, lighting a ghee lamp is the best thing. On that exact day, on the conjunction is happening, offering a ghee lamp is a very powerful remedy. Now I can also recommend for you to even buy something exactly when that thing is happening. So either get a gold coin, get a silver coin, and you capture that energy by that moment also. That's also one more way how you can capture. You can buy even a statue of a god. You can even buy like a statue of you can buy any item in your house. Now, anything you buy in that particular moment, just keep that with you. That is something I can say about the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. Now, the good thing about that Saturn-Jupiter, the important thing with the solstice day is that because it's the darkest day also, because it's also happening in Nakshatra Uttarashad also. Uttarashad is the Nakshatra of final victory, Mahabharata war and all that. So I can say that one big aspect is also going to be this deep internal fight or things you have to fight against will also come forth very strongly. One thing I can definitely say on the Saturn Jupiter conjunction is also this aspect of this. I think there will be some kind of a challenges around war and stuff like that. I think unexpectedly when the whole Corona thing was happening, I mean that was whole war. But then again, I think something along those lines could also play out. There might be some, in my opinion, again with Saturn Jupiter conjunction, it's a great time period to buy any spiritual books. So that's the best thing in my opinion. Best time to buy Mahabharata, best time to buy Ramayana, best time to buy I mean even if you buy Hanuman Chalis also literally, that's also, it doesn't matter. Anything you buy during that time period, keeping that, buying that, and that exact day, that will be like, as long as that book is there with you for the next 20 years, you will capture that energy of Saturn Jupiter through that book. That's the way to think about it. The one thing I can say is that definitely, usually it's a great day to do some kind of charity act, like giving charity towards education, charity towards homeless people. All that is very great. Also, that particular day is very, very powerful. Now, the other thing also is that with Saturn Jupiter happening in Capricorn, wherever Capricorn is falling in your chart, you will begin to feel that impact in a very strong way. Now, either this could mean you are willing to study things, pursue education, so that you can improve your career for the next 20 years. That's a big thing. I would even say that you might even think about traveling to foreign lands in a very strong way also, with Jupiter being the natural ninth lord and so forth also. That's the other aspect there. Now, Uttarashada as a nakshatra is a very important nakshatra with the Vishwa Devas happening. So I do think there might be big changes happening in world during that. I mean, Corona was a big change for sure, but that was way more Rahu kind of change. Saturn Jupiter is going to be more structural economic changes happening in the world. So I think in India already right now there are protests happening with farmers and so forth. You'll begin to see that kind of thing intensifying. I think you'll begin to see more protests kind of thing. But then at a personal level, I can say that this is a very powerful time period to set your financial goals for next 20 years. Now, the other aspect of the economy is that you'll begin to see more automation kind of thing happening, and your job literally is being threatened by further automation. There's also one more thing you might begin to see more, like AI computers taking away a job, right? That kind of thing. That kind of thing might become stronger also from this point onwards. But what is interesting is also this idea that there might be big sweeping financial opportunities that could come for the next 20 years. Now, we are in exciting times right now. Remember the past, think about what was happening 20 years ago when the conjunction happened in Aries, right? Now, 20 years ago, a lot of changes with transportation, a lot of technological changes, a lot of new ideas, a lot of new energies came into our lives and so forth, a lot of healing, all that. But now it's going to be more economical kind of thing happening on the Earth sign of Capricorn also. So I can definitely say that. Now, if you haven't been saving at all for future, now will be the time. If you haven't been planning financial thing for future, now will be the time also. I would even say that people might be making long-term investments or investments that are giving long-term returns also. Perhaps I can even say purchase of land-related deals, buying things, buying stocks, all that kind of economic kind of thinking will become very strong with Saturn Jupiter conjunction. Now, I believe it is also close to Pluto also, right? Aditya, if I'm not mistaken, Pluto is also at 1 degree or something, right? 0 degrees of. Now you're on mute, I think.
I was unable to hear you. There was some disturbance. I don't know. It was from my side or what did you say?
Yeah, but I was just asking that. I think Pluto is also close to that Saturn Jupiter conjunction, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's 1 degree.
Pluto in general. Yeah. So I think Pluto in general is also deep psychological transformation. Pluto is like supposed to be the god of death. So one way or the other, something will die. Usually that's something we'll see. Some kind of thinking will die. Some kind of aspect will die. Usually some kind of challenge. Some people can also drop off also. That's also one more thing you begin to see. Some people who are no longer serving you long term, you might begin to see that kind of thing happening. Usually I would say now this will be for teachers, it will be a very good time period. But they might begin to see the results in future, like they might not see the results immediately, but it will take some time also because the niche Panga happening between Saturn and Jupiter. Now, like I said, if you can use that moment to meditate, buy some stuff, capture that moment through some spiritual object. That's the best thing I can recommend. As a remedy, lighting a ghee lamp, lighting of donating ghee and sesame seed oil, that kind of thing is something I can recommend. Always feeding birds also I can really recommend. Now it's interesting that with Uttarshada the animal is mongoose, so even donating towards like snake protection courses or mongoose protection courses. Now Uttarshada is also associated with Kubera, so doing any Kuber mantra during this time is very powerful. I can really recommend that. Now appeasing Kubera is also something that can be done. Lighting a lamp to Kubera, having a statue of Kubera in your home, all that variation you can do. Uttarshada can also be linked with very powerful scriptures also, books also. Buying spiritual books also is a very good remedy, in my opinion, during this time period. Now, but I do think we are in for very important changes for the next 20 years of your life. Now, there are very, very important ideas that could probably happen. Could be that there is this idea where the finances, the way you look at money will change in the next 20 years. I'm very sure about that. That kind of ideas could be coming forth. Well, let's see. Now we can actually shift to the Saturn Jupiter in Capricorn kind of ideas. So
But let me just say, because I was just finding the exact date when Jupiter and Saturn was transiting, it was exactly on 28th or 29th May 2000 when they were conjunct. So now it is almost December 2020, so it's like almost 20.5, around 20 and a half years, something like that. And even at that time, on May 4th or May 5th, depending on where you are in India or in US, wherever, May 4th, May 5th, there was a heavy conglomeration of planets in Bharni, in fact. So we had Saturn, we had Moon, we had Jupiter, we had Sun, we had Mercury, everything. Okay, so that was a very heavy conglomeration on May 4th, 2000. So Aries sign was really very, I think, was very heavily afflicted, or
Aries, definitely. After there was a big aspect of war, right? So a lot of Gulf War, Iraq War, a lot of war happened after that point on. Definitely, Aries did play out. So definitely for the next 20 years. Definitely that, for sure that did play out. Now, what will be interesting, I think the Saturn Jupiter conjunction happened in Capricorn maybe in 60 years ago, right? You said in 1960 or something like that. That's when it happened.
It was, I think, Jupiter, because Jupiter and Saturn will again come to the same sign, because Jupiter takes 12 years, so 12 5 is 60, and Saturn takes about 30 years, 30 times 2 is 60. So 60 years before 2, around 60 years before 2, of course, not exactly 60, but somewhere around 60 years before 2, that will be something similar upheavals. So now if you subtract 2020 minus 60 or minus 58, 59 something, you come to the era of 1963 or 1960.
Yeah. If you only around 60, that was the time period when the whole world changed in a big way, right? A lot of drugs, a lot of sex, a lot of rock and roll kind of thing.
Event.
Now there was a huge protest against war and stuff like that happened against the Vietnam War in that time period. A lot of people started to view their career differently. A lot of people quit their job. The new cultural kind of revolution happened during that time. So it's a very important time period as far as the history of US was concerned. So I think US might go through a big transformation again in many ways. So there might be a lot more. It's more the 60s are coming back, but in the future. So it will be interesting to see what plays out, but it will be a very interesting time. A lot of spirituality came in also. That's the other aspect. People, yoga and stuff started, gurus came in during that time period. The Indian philosophy came into the US stream, around the 60s. So something similar could actually play out also. More of that kind of thing coming up, in this upcoming 20 years. It'll be interesting to see at least what plays out, but at least we'll be alive to see what happens this time around. So that's something I can say. But I think that was also a time period when JFK was killed, right? That's one thing you said. The president was killed and so forth also. So I think that will be interesting to see if that kind of thing also play out. Now, that is the case. There'll be whoever becomes the president could be in some serious trouble themselves. That's a possibility there. But then that will be interesting to see. With regard to a lot of people quit their job. A lot of people went through a lot of things. The other is the negative aspect of this transit or this conjunction, in my opinion, is this idea of laziness. You're beginning to see Saturn is very strong right now. Saturn is the planet that will make you lazy at the same time. Saturn is the planet to delay. So a lot of delays happening to the point where you want to become the delay yourself, right? So becoming lazy yourself. And Jupiter is the planet that will require you to think or deal with this procrastination or laziness very strongly also. Now, I cannot say that enough. And Jupiter is in Capricorn. It is a very powerful time period to really work on, work on what you are looking for things really longest years of your life. What are the fundamental factors that you want in your life? What is the dharma, force of dharma that you want in your life? Why are you even living? That kind of questions will become very strong. Now, the dates when Aditya mentioned, as he mentioned, that Saturn is going to be in Capricorn, but interestingly, Saturn will be in Shravan Nakshatra throughout the entire year. Now, so Shravan Nakshatra is having this theme of Mahabali having donated his land to a Vamana avatar. Now, you'll begin to see a lot of child geniuses coming forth right now. That is one thing I can definitely say. Vamana was a child genius, so a lot of whiz kids, tech whiz kids, a lot of children will become very smart children. Now, children are already forced to adapt, being in home, literally studying online from their home and all that. Now, they'll begin to see that kind of impact happening very strongly soon in the next year. This upcoming year, the children will begin to think more. They'll be more open to studying more in different ways. Education system will go through a big shift also in that way. I mean, Jupiter's in Capricorn, because it's in Nichvanka form happening. Usually, you can say that initially there'll be some tough time that is experienced by Jupiter and people. Like doctors will have a tough time, teachers will have a tough time, that kind of thing that will happen. And then eventually, but it will become better for them. Then eventually they'll begin to see, okay, going through that toughness actually help them out, in the long term front and so forth, so it was much more easier. Now I'm used to my routine, that kind of thing begins to play out. Now, the other aspect of Jupiter and Capricorn, I must say, is that in general, you'll begin to see some real challenges on the with your weight gain and so forth. That's something you'll begin to see. People will become very conscious of weight gain and so forth.
I think I'm used from most of my friends because of this lockdown. Everyone is at home, and because they are just eating, exercise. People have all people have said that they have gained weight. Like I have come across maybe around 3-4 friends of mine whom last time when I saw, because I'm in India right now, so last time when I saw them, they were very thin. But now I think everyone has gained weight because of lack of exercise and all. So no doubt.
At least you're going to work, you're walking back to your home work or something, right? Now that's not happening. So it's like it's a challenge for many. So there's an actual problem to watch out for. Saturn is one planet that will make you realize, okay, you're gaining weight, your knees are paining now, you better start taking care of your weight. That's one thing you'll begin to see a lot of that. Now, in fact, because of that, there's an opportunity for a lot of personal trainers and people like that. People who are focused on reducing weight and so forth, that kind of thing you can say. It'll be because of that, there'll be also opportunities for physical trainers, personal trainers, yoga teachers, all those category healers, nutritionists, all of them are going to have a good time ahead because they'll get some long-term work, long-term clients, all that kind of thing can happen. The other thing I can also say with Saturn, with Jupiter transit in Capricorn, especially in the first nakshatra in Uttarashada nakshatra, you'll see that you are fighting with someone right now. That's one thing. There's this argument kind of thing happening, this final victory of sword. But then it's this important debate or important battle like karma that you're facing, which has to be cleared up and so forth. Now a lot of people are going through this battle right now in the world because of lockdown and all that. They're going through those internal struggles themselves and so forth. So that'd be an important aspect. So I think one of the remedies I mentioned last time in one of the videos was to watch the Mahabharata. I can't even say that enough. When you watch the Mahabharata, that can actually calm you down and so forth. When you just understand the energy, you'll begin to see things opening up a lot. Reading spiritual books and connecting with spiritual books is a very powerful thing you can do right now with Saturn, Jupiter, and so forth. With Jupiter in Uttarashada also, I can really, really recommend that. But the easiest for doing seva for teachers or gurus, I cannot say that enough. Like any kind of seva you do for any kind of guru, this is the time period to do that. You have a teacher, you have a guru, go for respect to them, do some seva in that ashram, do some seva for their guru's organization, do some seva for the alumni organization, for educational organization, all that kind of educational kind of seva This is the best time period for that. And you'll begin to see a lot of people actually being engaged or starting to engage themselves in Seva also. That is one actual thing you'll begin to see. During the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, a lot of Guru Seva kind of concepts will become very, very strong. The other thing I can also say with Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, especially with the transit, is there's a definite effect of wanting to learn something on a routine basis. So one way or the other, you'll find yourself, okay, you know what, I want to study something right now. I want to read some books right now. That kind of activity will become really strong. People will actually put time and effort into education, into reading books, into expanding their intelligences, into chanting mantras. So a lot of spiritual practices will come right now. All of them are in their home. They will go through a crisis, which is which is the whole lockdown and so forth. Now, after that, they will start to, okay, how can I word this? What are the mantras I can chant? What are the books I can read? How can I make use of my time in additional ways and so forth? Either you might start to read or start studying something, or you might actually start to, start chanting mantras or some kind of spiritual activity will become very, very strong right now. 100% that will happen. I can say that for sure. Now, when Jupiter moves into Shravan Nakshatra, I think, Nauji, you mentioned the date. I forgot the date for Shravan Nakshatra.
I'll just pull it here. I think Uttarashada was up to January 2021, and Shravana was up to March 4th, 2021.
Yeah, so there'll be 2 months when Jupiter will be in Shravana. But then those 2 months, I can say there'll be one way or other, people will start traveling. Shravana is going to travel. A lot of people will start pick up walking. Now, usually what will happen is that I'm gaining my weight. I need to sort that out. Let me start walking. That's what usually will happen. Now, Shravana is also going to with trilogies, with threes and so forth. So things will happen in three. Suddenly you might start studying three different topics. You might be reading three different books. You might be studying from three different teachers. That kind of thing can happen. Jupiter in Shravana is also threefold expansion also. So perhaps when you're working, your work has multiplied itself 3 times more. Out of nowhere, your expansion is happening. Now, Shravana is also going to be losing land. So just be mindful of that. The good thing is that because Jupiter is the planet, it's a benefic transiting to Shravana, you might become intelligent about not losing your land. Finally, you are consolidating your properties. Finally, you are understanding the property laws, all that. Finally, you're paying off your taxes or property. It doesn't matter, all that kind of thing could play out. The Shravana also is connected with listening and hearing. So many people will have hearing problems and so forth, like they'll have ear pains, a lot more frequent ear pain. You might visit the ENT doctor after a long time. All that kind of thing can actually happen. That's one thing I can say. The other thing with Shravana also, you'll begin to see a lot of interest in foreign languages happening right now also. People wanting to study foreign languages. People are again stuck in lockdown. They're trying to make use of their time. So you'll begin to see that with Shravana also. So Shravana is kind of listening, right? So the translators, a lot of interest in translation kind of thing you'll begin to see. One thing I'm also keen on looking forward to Shravana, that people will also, I think I mentioned in Shravana video that it's also come with headphones, expensive headphones and stuff like that also. I think people might actually do that kind of thing. You might buy an audio system. You might buy those expensive speakers or headphones. I've seen that also. Now with Shravana, the best thing with Shravana is to actually worship Vishnu in the easiest way. That's the best thing I can recommend. Now there is this remedy of literally keep chanting Vishnu mantras with each step you take. That's the easy thing. With Shravana remedy is very easy. Is that. So every 3 steps you take, you're chanting a Vishnu mantra. In fact, this is the best time to do any kind of parikrama of any kind of place. Like I cannot say that people do Kailash parikrama, people do Arunachala parikrama.
I just got my headphone yesterday cleaning my room. My old headphone.
Great, Yeah, so all that, yeah. So talk about how much of headphones, yeah, definitely. So you can see that headphone for sure. I'll see people will go for. You'll see people just wanting to listen more and so forth. That's one thing we'll be able to see. Now during Shravana, the good thing is that if you have a routine of lighting a ghee lamp, if you meditate, you can actually connect with this deep internal voice that is guiding you also. So usually they say that you can listen to the deep intuition, the voice of your guardians, your guides, all that kind of thing you can actually begin to listen to. Now I can really, really recommend that also. This is some time period when you meditate, you will begin to almost hear that deep, powerful intuition whisper kind of voice, which is giving you very good insights into your life and so forth also. I can really, really say that. That's a very powerful thing to do. In fact, I can recommend that people to record, make their own recordings of what thoughts are coming, listen to that recording again. I can really recommend that. If I want simple remedy for Jupiter and Shravana is to listening to voices of teachers or voices of gurus. So listening to lectures of gurus and so forth. Listening to mantras is much more powerful during Shravana Nakshatra time period. I can really say that. Say you can't chant mantras, but when you listen to the mantras during Shravana Nakshatra, Jupiter transit time period, those 2 months, it will be very powerful time period for you. Now, many teachers will also come forth during this time period. I do think a lot of new teachers, a lot of wise people will really come forth during this time period. I do think one way or the other, there'll be this people who will be the new kind of people who are trying to connect different kind of worlds together. So they're trying to connect one realm of knowledge world with the other kind of knowledge world. That's a common thing you will begin to see. I think with Shravana though, it's a very good thing, very good time period though to actually spend time upon the spiritual scriptures also. Now, Shravana is also time period when you might do charity. Mahabali donated his entire kingdom away, but make sure you're doing charity, not to the point of poverty also. So just one more thing, make sure that you're taking care of your own needs also as you're doing charity also. Jupiter being debilitated in Shravana is one thing there. The other aspect with Jupiter being in Shravana, I can also say is that of trying to donate books. That's the best thing to donate during this time period. If you can donate books. Now, usually I would say people start traveling for 3 hours in Shravana. This could be like 1.5 hour back and forth also. So total 3 hours. That kind of thing will happen. You might start this 3 hour thing usually. Usually there might be this 3 hour kind of thing, or 3 hour travel kind of, some 3 hour kind of thing will play out. This could also be connected with 3 different cities also in general. So some land might go through a big transformation because of that. So I think there are 3 cities, there are the 2-3 cities in the US, if I'm not mistaken. 3 cities always linked together in the US. I think Dallas, San Antonio, Houston are basically 3 cities in one 3-city group. There's another 3 cities there in the US, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll find those kind of regions are going through a big transformation also. The one thing I can recommend with Shravana,
The tri-states.
Yeah, tri-states, yeah. Those kind of lands, those tri-state kind of land will also go through big expansion, new opportunities, all of that, new governors, right? All that kind of thing could play out. It'll be interesting to see. Now, when Jupiter's in Dhanishta will be the time period when you'll see a lot of people getting into healing, a lot of people getting into martial arts. Now, could be that, okay, what will happen is that, remember Mars is getting exalted in Dhanishta Nakshatra Pada 2. So when Jupiter moves into Shravana, a lot of people want to study martial arts. Now, in lockdown, there are still people studying martial arts over Zoom. People training together on Zoom and so forth. People doing yoga over Zoom. All that is already happening. You'll begin to see that a lot. Dhanishta will also be, you'll begin to see some very interesting kind of music happening by March or so. Some great musicians will come forth. People will be very much into music during that time period. People will be very much into dancing during that time period. Usually this is a time period when all those fitness trainers around music, right? All those Zumba dancers, all that, you'll begin to see you yourself getting into that. You are actually dancing your way to fitness. That kind of thing can actually play out during that time period also. Dhanishta though is a great time period for studying about Vastu. I cannot have said that enough. If you study Vastu, that's a very good thing. I can really encourage also with Dhanishta to do Vastu remedies in your own home. I can recommend that. The other aspect I can recommend with Dhanishta is also to invest in land. That's the best thing. Find out, at least study about land, properties that are close to your home. Find out some opportunities to invest on that front. If you're considering buying an apartment, think about that, make some studies about it. That kind of thing I can really recommend this time period. Now, Dhanishta is also a very powerful time period to study about financial instruments also. Dhanishta is also done, right? So it's having that root word of done. So if you're studying about finances, like, okay, making money through stocks, making money through long-term kind of thing, index funds. A lot of people will be investing money into index funds right now. That's something I can definitely say. That will definitely happen. The other thing with Dhanishta is also, now you'll begin to see some very strong controversial characters coming right now also. And so like, remember Bhishma Pitama is associated with Dhanishta, right? So you'll actually begin to see people like that coming into your life, people who are taking a staunch thing going on, people who are just, they are stubborn to the point of not accepting responsibilities, like some reason and so forth. You'll begin to see that. Now, in many ways, these characters come into life so that you can understand that exalted Mars energy yourself. You know what fights are worth fighting for and so forth. You might even see now during this time period. Remember, Jupiter will be aspecting Ashlesha Nakshatra also at the same time. So Ashlesha Nakshatra is connected with like snake energy, energy of Nagas and so forth also. So this is also a good time period to worship any kind of Nagas and so forth. So a very simple thing I can recommend is to chant this Navanaga Stotram, which is connected with the divine nine Nagas. That's a very simple thing for Jupiter's aspect upon Ashlesha. Jupiter being in Dhanishta, a very good remedy is to actually Ashtavasus. Now, a very simple thing with Dhanishta is to offer water or offer Argya to the 8 directions in your wherever you are at. So remember, the Ashtavasus can also be linked with the 8 Dikpalas also. So that is also one more thing I can really recommend. Now, when you go to a temple, you go to a South Indian temple, you'll begin to see there are cornerstones on each of those 8 corners. Each of those cornerstones are actually linked with these Dikpala and that particular direction and so forth. And when you go to the temple, bowing down to that particular, each of those Dikpalas, each of those directions is also one more thing I can really recommend. Now, normally you go to a temple, you might go, now during Jupiter and Shravana, the best thing to do is that you go around the same main shrine 3 times. That's the best thing you can do. And Jupiter is in Dhanishta, I can really recommend to extend that practice to honor the 8 directions also at the temple. Each of those, there are guardian deities at each of those directions also. There's also one more definite thing I can really, really recommend. Now, what will be interesting with Dhanishta is also that I can really say that, many people will be getting some kind of land kind of thing happening into their life. Either someone gives them land, something along those lines can happen. One way or the other, there'll be this land-based karma that can happen, which will be a good thing, which can be a good thing for many people also. That can happen. Now, it might feel like it's happening a lot is happening at the same time. That's the other aspect that might happen also. Now, this could also mean that perhaps you might be renovating your houses just to sell that house also. A lot of construction kind of activities could also be happening during that time period. I do think that in general, though, Jupiter transit over exalted Mars, Pada, this is the best time period to work out problems you have with your siblings. I can say that for sure. Now you have a problem with your brother, you have a problem with your sister, this is the best time period where you have a blessing of sword where you can work that out very easily. One way or the other, it will come up. Jupiter will transit to the exalted Mars Pada. One way or the other, you might be inclined to fight amongst friends, amongst siblings, but keep that easy, but try to see the biggest thing. Try to express gratitude for what you already have in your life. That is the easiest way to shift that energy also. Now, when you have a lot of excess Mars energy, you need to direct it in a positive way. Now, could be that many times these natives world over, you'll begin to see a lot of people getting into a lot more physical activities in very, very strong way. I do think there'll be a lot of great yoga teachers that will come up during this time period. A lot of people will pick up yoga, that kind of thing, in a very strong way. A lot of great yogis will be born also during this time period, in my opinion. So a lot of people who are really hardcore yogis will also come out during this time period also. Now, interestingly, there will also, one thing I can definitely say is that there will be this interesting, the bad effect of this is that not to get into an abortion kind of thing going on. So Dhanishta is usually associated with abortion and so forth. You have planets there. One of them is 5th house, 5th lord, all that, and then you have Jupiter transiting there. Perhaps you are talking to a doctor about abortion. In my opinion, try to be mindful about that. Use protection when you're having sex, simple as that, and then you won't have to worry about that. One thing I can really say is that, but that's one negative thing I just want to say. Could be that some of the abortions might be necessary for the health of the mother. Now, it's an even bigger sin for the child to kill the mother when it's being born. So in that case, it's supposed to be, it's karmically supposed to be allowed. That's one thing I can say. But then other willful abortions are not great. There are other problems with the mother who has to go through that. That kind of thing is always there. That's something I can always say with Dhanishta. That's one thing that's there. Now, the best thing about Dhanishta, though, is that taking a dip in Ganga River. Now, the best thing, again, is to just buy Ganga Jal and keep it in your home. That's the best thing I can recommend. Chanting prayers for Ganga when Jupiter is in Dhanishta is very, very powerful. I cannot recommend that enough. Dhanishta is literally linked with Ganga River. I think Dhanishta is also Delphinus constellations, which is dolphins also. You'll begin to see some inspiring dolphin stories during this time period. A lot of speaking of the dolphin is kind of very good also during this time. If you can visit dolphins, you'll find a lot of calming thing during
What about music and all?
Yeah, music also, right? Yeah, I think there'll be some interesting knowledge about dolphins that will come for sure during this time period when Jupiter is transiting through Dhanishta. Um, and it will be very, you'll begin to see some very great engineering kind of stories coming forth right now when Jupiter is in Dhanishta, because Mars is being exalted there and so forth. And of course, when it moves into Aquarius, that will have a different quality. I think hopefully by that time, the corona thing will calm down by that time. 3-4 months from now, you might begin to see things becoming different.
Some say Dhanishta is also connected to doctors, because they read the
pulses, yeah.
These are the rhythm of
exactly,
life, actually.
Exactly, yeah. So I do think, rhythm of life. That's a good point, Aditya, because that you might begin to see people potentially having heart-related problems. I mean, you're becoming fat. You're not taking care of your diet. Of course, you're going to have problems. Your weight gain might happen. The other thing, next thing that could happen is the heart-related problems. You need to watch out for that. So literally, cardiologists will be busy. 100% you'll begin to see that, either because they are taking care of their heart. The next is the pulse. Pulse is connected with their heartbeat. So you'll begin to see a heartbeat kind of thing. This is a good time period to actually talk to a doctor who specializes in heart and that kind of thing also. I can really, really recommend that. And to also do preventative kind of things on that front also. Now, Jupiter and Dhanishta is that you're controlling the fat you are consuming to improve the health of your heart. Now, you'll see a lot of people getting into cardio from that point on. I can say that for sure. One way or other, you'll try to do cardio kind of exercises a lot. That's something I can definitely say. And that'll be good also. During Jupiter in Dhanishta Nakshatra, that'll be very good. I think briefly, when Jupiter is in Satabhisha, I can say a lot of people get into healing sciences or occult sciences, astrological sciences. Yeah, Satabhisha being the 100 healers.
That's what happens when you get sick. You go to doctor, correct? So Satabhisha is the next nakshatra.
Exactly.
You go to 100 healers.
Yeah. Now, usually with Satabhisha planets, so usually they say you might actually have to visit multiple doctors at the same time. So that's the thing. So you'll find sometimes you have to, your health illnesses are undiagnosed, you talk to like 100 healers, that kind of thing going on. Now, during this time period, a lot of people, a lot of great healers will come forth. You might actually meet someone who's a great healer. That kind of thing can really play out. Now, the best thing I can recommend with Satabhisha Nakshatra is to chant the 108 names of Vishnu, Guru. Any 108 names of any gods is very, very powerful during Satabhisha Nakshatra. Satabhisha being connected with 100 healers. So as long as you're chanting 100 names of Ganesha, 100 names of Shiva, that kind of thing I can really recommend with Satabhisha. So usually it's like 108 names. So that's why that name is a name thing I can really recommend. The other thing I can recommend with when Jupiter is in Satabhisha is also, now Jupiter will become stationary in Satabhisha. Now eventually Jupiter will eventually it slows down and becomes stationary. On that particular day, to go to a temple and offer a ghee lamp is the best thing I can really recommend. Ghee lamp being linked with Jupiter, donating ghee, pouring ghee upon Shivling, all that variation I can recommend. The other thing also is usually the karma is to feed 100 Brahmins. Now usually when Jupiter is in Aquarius, that's the best time period to feed birds. Now that'll be summertime, world, at least in the northern hemisphere. At that point, you can actually start feeding birds. That will be very good for you. Now, feeding birds, yellow lentils is the best thing. That will be yellow lentils is Jupiter, and anything yellow in color, feed that to the birds. That's the best thing I can recommend. Even feeding sweet items to squirrels can also work. I can really recommend that. Even the best thing I can really recommend is that whenever you see any children, buy chocolates for the children and give that to a child. Something sweet to the thing. Of course, buy something good and all that. The Jupiter in general is like, Satabhisha is circle, right? So, in my opinion, one of the best remedies to do when Jupiter is in Satabhisha is to donate laddus, like, 100 laddus and so forth. I can really recommend that. Laddus like literally Satabhisha circular sweet dish. I think, in my view, that can be linked with Satabhisha also. So, but the key thing is that some festival is happening at temple, you donate 100 laddus to people who are coming and going, that kind of thing. Usually the other remedy is to actually donate, make 100 people give 100 drinks to 100 people. Now, of course, not alcoholic drink. I'm just telling like, like good drinks and so forth. Like usually, what do they say is like, you have to give, usually it's like when usually used to be a thing that when a festival was happening, in a community festival was happening, people would distribute water freely for people. You can drink water freely. Doing something like that, I can really recommend. Buying water for a thirsty man is the best thing you can do when Jupiter is in Satabisha or when Jupiter moved into Aquarius. That's the best thing I can always encourage. That's the easy thing. Aquarius being the water bearer, that's the easiest remedy that's out there. I can also actually recommend worship of Ganesha also during Jupiter is a heavy planet. The heaviest gods of them all is actually Ganesha. So there is a hidden thing with the Ganesha's blessing you can access when you do. Even Ganesha is carrying laddus also. So when you offer laddus to Ganesha, when you offer sweet dishes to Ganesha, that's the best remedy for Jupiter also. Jupiter is also linked with Vishnu also. So because of which offering sweet dishes to Krishna is also a very powerful thing during this time period. It's a very, very powerful deity. Reading the Bhagavatam now is a very good thing. When Jupiter is in Satabisha, there'll be this increased thing with group classes of being in a collective thing. A lot more community activities you'll begin to see a lot. A lot of that can become happening. And again, community kind of work can happen, conference kind of work can happen. A lot of people could get into conferences, that kind of thing can really happen. All that. Now, Satabisha will also be connected with healing. So a lot of great doctors, a lot of great powerful medical discoveries will come forth. Very powerful healing things will come forth also. Very great healing knowledge will come forth right now. No doubt about that. That'll be very, very powerful also. In fact, you might just buy a book on healing. That kind of thing would also play out. I really do think on that front. I think Nauji once spoke about Bach flower and so forth. I do think that is also a very powerful remedy on when Jupiter is Satabisha. Literally like doing the Bach flower remedies, the flower essences, all that. I cannot have said it enough. That's one thing. Now, in general, though, some deep secretive aspect will also come forward when Jupiter is in Satabisha. So secrets that you have kept in your life that will really, really come forward during that time. It'll be very interesting to see that will come forward also. Some secrets will also come. Satabisha is also kept hidden. Satabisha deity is also Varna. So again, a lot of ocean-related conservation projects will become stronger. A lot of improvement will happen on the ocean side of things and so forth also. That's one more thing I can say. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I talked a lot, but go ahead now, Ji. Go ahead, Aditya.
So when you say secrets, like is it prominent more for people who have planets in those nakshatras or in Aquarius sign or it would be a general theme for people?
So this will be a general theme, but if you have planets there, then these themes will interact with that particular planet. So say like you have Venus there, your spouse will be the one who goes through this and so forth, and they'll be the one who's suddenly having a heart problem. They have to watch it for that, go to a doctor, all that kind of thing. Sun being there, this could be a career or your bosses. Now you might see that kind of changes going. It could be that your boss actually bought a house also. You could actually see that from your own chart. That's also one more thing you can see. Now I can even say that those planets will actually amplify the effect with respect to that particular planet. Now, say you have Jupiter transiting over that particular planet. This is, in many ways, this is the best time period to study about that particular planet. That's the best thing I can recommend. Jupiter is the planet of books, mantras, and spirituality also. This is the best. So Jupiter is transiting over Sun. You should be studying about Sun, chanting mantras for Sun, doing prayers for the Sun, all that. Whatever planet Jupiter is on is above in your chart, that exact planet will be activated one way or the other. I cannot say that. That will actually activate, that will expand that particular planet with regard to your life. One way or the other, Jupiter, people who are going through Jupiter transiting over their natal Saturn, finally they are thinking very much about their work, long-term prospects. Saturn is also all the problems in their life. Suddenly they are realizing, okay, what are the boundaries I need? What are the problem people in my life? What are the problem habits in my life? All that. Jupiter return will happen for a lot of people right now. For them, they'll be finally learning something new. They'll actually be going through learning about spirituality themselves. Gurus could come in also during this time period. Real connection with gurus can also come for you during this time period. Jupiter over Venus is the best time period to get married and so forth. Like usually it's a blessing with regard to relationships that will come, with regard to business partnerships, even knowledge of the business world could also come forward during this time period. Jupiter over Mars, I can really say knowledge with regard to your enemies will come forth, or the fights you need to be fighting. That's the thing you will come. Mars can also be your siblings. Your siblings will go through a big expansion. Blessings will come for your siblings also during this time period. Jupiter over Mercury will be, you might just buy a new mobile phone, or you might buy a new laptop, that kind of thing happening. That's usually the case with Jupiter over Mercury. Could be that you might even just pick up a new hobby, a casual thing, a new language, all that variation can happen. Jupiter over Moon is a very good time period. This is now you have a temporary Kesari Yoga being found with Moon and Jupiter conjunction. So it's like that's a very good opportunity to do worship Mata, worship, very powerful opportunity to worship Vishnu, very powerful opportunity to actually worship a Guru also. I cannot emphasize enough. It's a very powerful time period where a Guru can actually give you very good blessings right now. That's the best thing in my opinion. And then Jupiter was Sun, like I said, you will finally understand your boss right now. Jupiter transiting was Sun. You might understand the government kind of thing. You might begin to form a new interest in politics will become stronger right now. Your political ideologies could come forth very strongly. In the easiest time, this is the best time period to worship Sun also. I cannot say that, offering Argya to the Sun every day, doing Surya Namaskar every day, that's the best thing. Doing Surya Namaskar by chanting mantras for the 12 Adityas. That is also a very powerful thing you can do with during this time period. Also, the other thing you can do is Sun is literally thinking about gold as an investment. I cannot emphasize it enough. Buying gold and so forth. Jupiter aspecting your Sun, Jupiter transfer Sun also, I can really recommend that. Now, this is also a time period to gift gold, but also to buy gold also. It's also one more thing I can recommend. There's also both I can really recommend with Sun also. Sun can also be linked with East, so you'll find people interested in China, Japan, all that kind of thing also. You'll be able to see that kind of thing happening. A lot of, that's one of those things you'll be able to see. But if transit over those specific planets will be like expansion will happen in a simple planetary way. But because that planets are in those nakshatras, these nakshatra themes will be interacted. So it could be that your father, mother for Sun and Moon, Mars is sibling, Mercury is younger sibling, Venus is spouse, Jupiter is guru, could be your teachers, Saturn is servants, Rahu Ketu is like your elders, your elderly of the next previous generation and so forth. Or your grandchildren also on the other hand. So these two planets could also happen. So Jupiter or Rahu is a very powerful time period to understand your karma. Why am I born in this lifetime? That kind of thing will happen. You can say this right now. Jupiter over Ketu, though you are dealing with some past karma right now, I can say for sure. So whoever comes for you right now, comes to Jupiter transit over Ketu is the best time period to access knowledge that you knew in your past lifetime. I've seen that those are very powerful time periods to actually, you might suddenly read books that you're drawn to, and guess what? You have been studying that school of thought or astrology or occult sciences for multiple lifetimes. That's an actual thing with Jupiter over Ketu also. So I've seen that. Usually you might be interacting with past life people right now and so forth. But the thing though is that with Ketu, you tend to scatter that away. Someone is giving you good advice, but you'll just criticize them for no reason. It's like you just feel like criticizing, you'll just criticize them. That's the thing with Jupiter over Ketu though. Jupiter over Rahu though, there might be this obsessive kind of thing, OCD and so forth. Now Jupiter over Rahu is the, you could say, best time period to control your addictions and so forth. So you have a bad habit, there's the best time period to fix that also. Jupiter over Rahu. I cannot emphasize it enough. It's the best time period to control your alcoholic drinking problems in general. That's the thing I can really say. When Jupiter is over Rahu, at least try to avoid drinking on Thursdays when Jupiter is over Rahu, and Saturdays also. If you're going through that, something like that variation, I can really recommend this thing during this time period. But yeah, Jupiter, this is a very powerful transit to understand karmas of multiple lifetimes if Jupiter is transiting over your Rahu and Ketu. Now, you can extend the same logic into the divisional charts. Now, there are few astrologers who actually look at transits in the divisional charts. A few of them do. I think there is value in that. If Jupiter is transiting over Rahu, Ketu in any divisional chart, that particular area of your life, you can actually begin to learn what is the karma that is, what are my unfulfilled desire in this lifetime within that divisional chart area. So that's an actual thing also I can say. There's also one more way how you can extend this, whatever I said so far, into that specific areas of your divisional charts also. There's one more thing I can definitely say. So like Saturn Jupiter transit over, say you're D10 Lagna, you're having Saturn Jupiter transit right now. You're thinking about your career big way. Your career one way, the other will expand right now. Some new opportunities will come, new possibilities will come. one way or the other it will improve. No doubt about that. Say it is happening over Rahu Ketu in the divisional chart, 100% this is a karmic thing. You have a problem at work, there's a karmic problem which you have to face and you have to overcome and so forth also. No doubt about that. Especially with regard to if the Rahu Ketu is in Capricorn and this, in the divisional chart also. I can really say that. That's something I've seen working. I've seen that a lot. So that's something I can definitely say that works also. But yeah. So yeah, those are some remedies that Aditya, what would you like to share? I mean, I talked a lot. What do you see and what
I agree. I
would
agree
you
what you
like
said. I
to
agree
add
what
on?
you
Add
said.
on
Jupiter over different signs, and he's breaking. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, I completely agree with you about Jupiter over Dhanishta and other nakshatras. But also, I would like to add for Dhanishta, especially taking some dip in the holy water and all. It's another powerful remedy because Dhanishta is
Yes.
connected with goddess
Yes.
Ganga too. So visiting some holy places. See what's happening. But right now, exactly right now, what's happening is Jupiter is getting debilitated. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is nothing but the lord of the ninth house and the 12th house in the Kalpurush chart. So definitely you need not forget about the ninth and the 12th house, and Saturn is basically 10th and 11th house. So let's talk about Jupiter first. So ninth and the 12th house. What is ninth house? Ninth house, as we know, is religious places, pilgrimage, traveling, and all those. Even 12th house is also for foreign travels and all those things. We have a lot of problems with the foreign travels right now. We are not getting visas. Similarly, I am stuck here. The same problem actually. you know,
Right.
the 12th house. Jupiter. That's a natural 12th house lord. Basically, it's a foreign land thing, and Jupiter is the deep debilitated right now. 4 degrees. I don't know what is the degree of Jupiter. I don't know, around 4 degrees or something. So it's deeply debilitated right now. So you can understand the problems with the foreign travel, the problems with the ninth house. So again, so prayers and all those things you can do a lot to basically improve your Jupiter and all. So that's one thing which you can enhance your Jupiter qualities. The other thing is Saturn, as you said. Saturn is really in his own house, not exalted, I should say, but in his own house, Capricorn. What is Saturn? Saturn is again 10th and the 11th house. So in Kalpurus. So again, the 10th house and the 11th house aspect. What is 10th house? Problems with jobs, karma, and all those karma sthana and all. So that's what we hear these days. So many people with because of this pandemic, it has happened. But again, issues with either they have too much job because everyone is doing work from home, so managing family, managing home, managing everything,
Yeah.
managing their
That's right.
kids,
Yeah.
online classes.
Yeah.
And what is Jupiter? It has become some young kids near my on my in my neighbor, and they are young, 4 years, 5 years. It's so difficult for them to sit and make them and sit there and to study because all the time they play with mobile. But when the teacher comes in the mobile, they just throw the mobile and then they are running here and there. So that's what all these grandmothers and mothers are complaining here. That these persons are not studying again. Studying again Jupiter, those things. So
Yeah.
those things are and having fights with them because parents and grandparents want them to make them to sit and study, and these people don't sit and study. So it's basically Uttarashara effect is coming in the picture. Fighting and all
Yes.
those
Yeah.
arguments, all those things are happening. So that's what I see here. It's so difficult for them, and now, in fact, right now, what's happening in Mumbai is farmer protest, as you said, farmer protest. So protests and all going on, and because of first of all this because of this pandemic, no colleges has yet been open. Even the second list they used to put in the college, which has used to happen in the month of July till December, it has been postponed. I don't know when the college is going to start, when the academic year is going to start. Right now, all the education has been suffered. So again, what is education? Jupiter is debilitated right now. So you can see the effects of what's happening. Education is suffering. Okay. So definitely problems with Jupiter is happening. But I guess once the Jupiter passes this deep debilitation point, 5 degree of Capricorn, maybe things may little bit get better and so on and so forth. Of course, Capricorn is not a favorite sign for Jupiter. But another thing is respecting gurus and all, because that's what, if you see the Jupiter's in Shravana or in Jupiter going in Shravana, and you understand the story of Mahabali, where he was not listening to his guru Shukracharya. So the other thing is following your guru's advice, visit.
Now, yeah, one thing I just want to add that because remember Shukracharya is still Venus, right? Venus is also your spouse. you might not be listening to your spouse during this time period. So just watch out for that tendency. That's one more thing. Just want to add that. Yeah.
So those things, again, listening to your gurus and all those things. Not saying blindly follow them. Of course, use
Right.
your own logic and all those. Not saying to blindly follow, but do not respect gurus and try to enhance, because Jupiter is big. Try to enhance or do activities that will basically strengthen Jupiter. How do you strengthen Jupiter? One way is chanting Jupiter mantra. The Vedic mantra, Devanancha Rushinancha, that mantra, Guru Kanchan Samibam Buddhi Bhutan Trilokesham Tam Namami Brihaspati. So you can Vedic mantra, if you put, you will get the Jupiter's mantra. Then some astrologers have recommended to use a long time back for me. So I know that wearing yellow dresses on Thursday,
Right.
then eating chana dal, chana dal, the gram dal, which they call, on Thursday. The chana is also connected with yellow color. Chana is also connected
Right.
with Jupiter. So on a Thursday, eating chana dal, that's also one remedy. And of course, mantra remedies, prayers to Jupiter. So in that way, all you can enhance. And reading, reading, writing, all those Jupiter related activities, reading scriptures, doesn't matter reading books, or if you don't like to read scriptures, at least read books or something connected with Jupiter, gain knowledge. So all those, in that way, you can all enhance the Jupiter strength and make Jupiter powerful at its deep debilitation point. I think that's one thing, one remedy. Nothing, at least you can read if you like. Forget about chana dal, wearing yellow clothes, this and all. Personally, I don't do all that, but I'm a teacher, so I always like to read. So I'm always engaged in some Jupiterian activities. Read astrology or read anything, whatever you like. Learn, read. So that's one thing. Gain knowledge, basically. So that's one thing I will mention. Reading is also good, correct? Good for enhancing a Jupiter. Good for you also. So what's the problem? So these are some things which you can do in addition to whatever Sandeep mentioned to enhance Jupiter qualities.
Yeah, I can say a couple more things. One with Jupiter and Shravana. I think I mentioned in Shravana video this. If you can learn 1,000 name of any 1,000 names of Vishnu, 1,000 names of Lalita Sahasranama, Shiva Sahasranama, if you study that, if you just work on learning that at least by heart and understanding the meaning behind that also, that's a very powerful healing thing. You begin to see that one particular name you are finding it difficult, that is the actual karmic thing that has to be sorted, or that has to be resolved in your life also. So you'll begin to see that the names you get stuck on, the names you're having challenges pronouncing, you'll begin to see that's a very simple thing. That's a 1,000 name remedy with Shravana. The other thing I can recommend is to, one simple thing during Shravana to do is to say affirmations that are positive self-affirmations on 3 times a day. So like morning you wake up, you say it, afternoon you say it, or like evening you say it, and before you go to sleep you say it again. So there's one more thing I can recommend with Shravana, just 3 times a day. Usually I would also recommend for you to read 3 different books at the same time. I mean, usually we have the habit of reading one book, but I can recommend try to have that kind of habit of 3 books. You'll see that 3 books will come in front of you one way or the other during Jupiter, during that time period. One thing I can say, just what Aditya said, is that connecting with your teachers during this time period. I cannot say, you know your school teacher, you met your college professor, you have a guru. That's a very powerful time period right now. I can really recommend that. The Jupiter is also, now the challenging thing about Jupiter though is that this fanatic thing. So watch out for getting into religious debates and so forth also. Now okay, one guru is not so great. Don't let that guru have their own karma, whatever, right? That kind of thing. So that's one very important thing. Not to get into this argument, uh, not to let that negative kind of thing against a guru. That guru might have done the worst thing forever, but just leave it to God to take care of that guru's karma. That's one thing I can say. Usually there is this tendency with Jupiter and Uttarshadha to fight with gurus or to fight against gurus very strongly. That's one thing that'll actually come out and a lot of people will become strong right now, with regard to that thing. But that is one aspect that needs to be aware about, definitely, and so forth. Because this tendency to fight against gurus, fight against people who are holding spiritual knowledge, you'll begin to see that also. Why even engage in a debate? Why spiritual knowledge is supposed to be spiritual and supposed to calm you down and so forth? Why create aggravation around that, right? I mean, that kind of thing. You begin to find people who are fighting about astrology or having arguments around astrology. I mean, why even waste time like that, right? That's the way to think about that. That's a real thing also will happen during this time period. I just want to add that in addition to what Aditya was saying about the college and knowledge and teachers and so forth also. But the other best thing I forgot to say is to help out children as much as possible. Spend time with children, give good things to children, buy them clothes, buy them all that books and all that, buy toys for children. I cannot say that enough. This is the best thing. This time again, you won't get a time period to get Vishnu's blessing when Jupiter is in Shravan Nakshatra anytime soon. So this is the best thing you can do. You might the children usually always buy 3 books for children when you're doing that. That's something I can recommend with Jupiter and Shravana. That will help you out the most, help them out the most eventually, and they'll eventually, come back and give you more also. I cannot say that enough. With Jupiter also, one thing I can say when it's in Dhanishta is that just to bring music into your life. If your home is empty, you don't listen to music, just put on the music in your home, that kind of thing I can really recommend. As the one other aspect also I can recommend, music and dancing. Now, not many people spend time expressing creativity. I mean, Indian school system really kills off creativity, anything that's left, when you're forced to study and so forth. Just study, just dance, just sing, just do simple things like that, just to improve your life. I couldn't say that enough. When you do that, things actually improve. Go sing a bhajan, doesn't matter. Sing, enjoy kirtans. You'll be able to see a lot of great kirtan singers coming up during this time period. I can say that also. That will also help you out. Now, Jupiter and Shravana also start listening to others also. You might have the karma of listening to the other person. You just need to listen and then karma is over. That's it. You'll find a lot of things happening like that. A lot of great counselors will be coming up right now. A lot of people who are great coaches will come up right now. Great teachers will also be coming up right now. So it'll be exciting time period for the world, at least when Saturn Jupiter happens. Now, I think let's talk about the big conjunction on that day. I think Aditya mentioned on that. Yeah, so let's talk about that. Now it's now that particular day, I think it's February when 11, yeah.
10, 11,
yeah,
because
February
it takes around 1 or 2 days to cross the sign.
Yeah,
so 2 days.
Yeah, so it's a very powerful day to clean out Capricorn kind of karma. So Capricorn, I cannot say that enough. Venus in general is flowers. Mercury in general is like things you're writing down in notes and so forth. Now, and Capricorn is the sign of structure and organization. Everything is hierarchical. Even the Shravana is 3 steps. You take 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, right? So it's like 1, 2, 3 kind of thing going on. Now, that particular day, that particular time period will be a very powerful time period to bring a lot of order into all aspects of your life. You can remove clutter, you can declutter all aspects of your life on that particular day. You can remove things, bring structure, bring organization, eliminate things, establish boundaries, all that good stuff of Capricorn, which is structure, hierarchical kind of thing, can come forth. The challenging thing about Capricorn, though, is that because it's ruled by Saturn, it might be too restrictive. So you kind of have to watch out for, am I becoming too strict upon myself? Can you relax a little bit more on that time? You'll see that one way or the other, a lot of power struggles could be happening around that time period. A lot of planets in Capricorn. Work feels like a war field right now. Like you'll feel some support from work, but also there is like people fighting with you at work also. Both can happen during that time period. Now, in my opinion, when that is actually happening, it's a very powerful opportunity with regard to rituals and so forth. This is the best time period to do the Abhijit Muhurta kind of ritual. Like when the Muhurta is Abhijit, chanting mantras, offering argya to the sun in the around noon time. Now, usually you normally offer argya to the sun close to sunrise, but you can also offer argya to the sun close to Abhijit Muhurta also. That's a very powerful thing. I can really recommend that. The other thing also I can recommend is with all those planets there in Capricorn, it's kind of important to learn to surrender your problems at the feet of the god. Now it's the best time period to touch the feet of a guru, touch the feet of the idol. The best thing you can do is to do Sashtang Pranam in your own puja and so forth. After your every meditation, doing the Ardhang Pranam for females and Sashtang Pranam for males. That's the best thing you can do to actually get blessings. Usually, I can always encourage. Saturn is usually linked with goddess Kali. Saturn is linked with Hanuman also. Hanuman Seva is the best thing you can do during this time period. Hanuman worship is the best thing. I can really recommend offering flowers to Hanuman. That's something I can recommend. Saturn is also linked with goddess Kali. That can also work. Saturn is also linked with Ayyappa also. Dharma Shastra also is linked. Saturn is also linked with Kal Bhairav. Shiva also works. Doesn't matter as long as some god's feet you are touching. That's one thing I can really encourage. That's usually helpful. With Saturn, usually, with Sun, usually the recommendation is to show light to these gods. Same thing is a recommendation with Mars, showing fire to the gods. That's something you can say. Um, Rahu aspects, so Rahu is actually linked with smoke. So offering smoke to the gods, like dhoop to the gods, doing that to the gods is something good. Incense in general is good. Venus is flower, so offering flower to the gods. That's something I can recommend. Now, Mercury usually is like leaves. Mercury can also be something sweet, or writing mantras or studying about those gods also. That's also one more thing I can recommend. Now, I think when Moon is also joining, literally offering water or something sweet, some sweet dish to the gods, also something I can recommend. Now, offering these items on your gods, on your altar, to your guru, to the gods in your home, that's the best thing I can recommend. Doing these same things in a temple, I can also recommend that. Doing that as a ritual, doing that puja done, I can recommend that also. I can also recommend during Saturn time, the best thing to do is to learn patience and to learn the effect of planning things out. Saturn is really connected with Muladhara chakra, which is the root chakra also. You'll begin to see a lot of survival-based themes coming up right now. You'll begin to feel people are having the survival kind of fears coming up right now. And this is the best time period to become conscious of those things and make long-term plans and to bring shift that can improve your aspects of your life for the long term with respect to all those planets. But remember, it will have this quality of on one side, there is all this good stuff happening, a lot of positive, optimistic thing happening with all those good planets there. But on the other side, you'll find the heaviness kind of thing because Saturn is also there. So it's like both are also there. So you might find all of it is happening at the same time during that time period. And depending upon the house it's there, it might be very active and so forth also. But just be mindful of that. That's something I can say. The other thing I can say is that on that particular date also, to engage, make it a spiritual day as much as possible. Chant mantras of all those planets linked with that thing. So Venus being Lakshmi, Sun being Surya or Rama, Lord Rama, or Shiva even. Jupiter being Vishnu or Guru Dattatreya even. Mars being, I think Mars is not involved, right? If I'm not mistaken, Aditya?
Yeah, Mars is
Yeah, I
not
think Mars is
involved.
the only. Yeah, but I think Mars will be in Taurus with Rahu, or Mars will be in Gemini or something like that. Or Mars could be in Aries if I'm not mistaken. But Mars will be strong during that time period. So if you can do some remedies, well, in general, Saturn is linked with Hanuman. Saturn can also be linked with. I can also recommend the Naga mantras during this time. The Navnag Sotra Ascension planets will be aspecting Ashlesha also. The other thing I can recommend also is also to do charity in general. Now, Saturn in general is controlled time. Try to not waste time for others, not waste others' times. Try to not waste time in general. One way or the other, try to make use of time. Now, this doesn't mean that you are always working, but at least make use of the time in the most efficient way. You are relaxing, but you are also planning that thing out. That's the real thing with Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is also linked with Makar Rashi. So, Makar is also the sea creature. So, a very powerful remedy with Saturn in general is going to the seaside and doing prayers there. Now, if you're living along the coast, I cannot say this. That's the best thing you can do. Just go to the ocean side, make a prayer there. You might be surprised by how quickly it might get answered. Also, that's something I can say. The other thing I can say with Saturn, with all these planets happening in Capricorn also, is that usually Capricorn is also this quest for power. Now, remember the Mahabharata, the war is happening so that we are fighting it out so to get power. Now, very important thing with Capricorn is not to allow the egos, not to let it get to, and not to let it become an ego problem. That's a big thing you have to watch out for in Capricorn. Because Sun gets Digbala in the 10th house, but in the natural 10th house of the zodiac. But at the same time, Capricorn is also what Saturn is ruled. So try to see how can you be of service to many people as is possible in this lifetime. You're beginning to see that service is actually helping you out karmically. you have a big problem in your life. Now, one great remedy is that say you have a problem with wealth, help out someone else with your own finances. Help them out, help them structure a system in whatever way you can. Now they say the best thing you can actually offer to the gods is time. You don't best thing you can do the best thing you can do to someone else is to provide support for them as is possible, to volunteer for someone else, to help do some kind of seva, to do some kind of sharing your own time with someone else. Now that is a very powerful remedy, especially when all those plants are in Capricorn. I can really, really recommend that. If you can spend, the best thing to do is to spend time with elders. That's the best thing, doing remedies for them. I cannot say that enough when all these plants are there. When was the last time you actually gave a flower to an elderly person, right? Who gives flowers to their moms, right? When was the last time when you buy flowers to an elderly thing? I can recommend that very strongly on that. It will be Valentine's Day also. Usually people buy Valentine's Day flowers for your spouse and whatnot, for your girlfriend, boyfriend, all that. But I can recommend if you actually buy flowers for someone like someone in an elderly form, some of the aunt, uncles, something like that around this conjunction time period. I can really, really recommend that because Venus is a benefic planet that is involved there. There's also one more thing I can it's a simple remedy, but it will create some impact. It will create a simpler impact and so forth also. Of course, there are many mantras you can chant. I mean, there are tons of that. There's no lack of that on that regard. But I can recommend that particular day is very powerful day. In terms of if you can meditate when the exact moment, when that conjunction on that particular day, like the best thing to do is actually like what Aditya said, go in the evening sky, try to see. Now, this will be more close to the morning time, if I'm not mistaken, right, Aditya? I think early morning time is when you might see the conjunction, if I'm not mistaken. When this particular
because sun is involved in that time,
right. So early morning. So if you can wake up on that particular day and meditate upon those individual planets, and you just connect with the energy of those planets, and then planets will directly give you very powerful healing energies and so forth also. Now that's the best thing I can recommend. That's the easiest remedy you can do during this time period. Of course, you can do offerings, you can meditate upon moonlight, all that kind of thing you can do. That's not a problem. I can really recommend that. That's also one more thing I can really, really recommend. Yeah, that's what I have as of now. But I think that's the thing. I think the final thing we have is eclipse, right? I mean, we can talk briefly on eclipse. So Aditya, what do you have to share on eclipse and so forth? Now, what do you have to share on the other conjunction which I just talked about?
Definitely, depending, as I said, depending upon the house. First, let me talk very briefly about
Right. Good, yeah.
For example, people know that Aries Lagna will have 10th house will be occupied by the Capricorn, so they have to worry about their job, name, fame, and all.
Right.
Second, if you have a Taurus Lagna, then for the Taurus Lagna, this comes in the 9th house. So the father, some issues with the father can happen, some religion. So based on that, this was interesting. I was doing Gemini Lagna, the Capricorn sign comes in the 8th house, and I was just remembering some few cases, and a case where he was a Virgo Lagna back in and then the 8th house was occupied by Aries sign, and as I said, on May 4th, 2000, there was a big conglomeration of planets happening in the Aries sign at that time because Jupiter Saturn was in Aries. There was some problem in my internet. Is my connection stable now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
So here, this person was with Virgo Lagna, and then 8th house was Aries. And as I said, on May 4, 2000, there was a heavy conglomeration in Aries. So major startup of diseases started happen on that day, exactly around that time, May 2000, and the person suffered for the next 10 years, 15 years. So similarly for Gemini Lagna, the Capricorn comes in the 8th house. So start of some new disease or some sudden transformation can happen because of this heavy transit of planets in Capricorn. Then we could talk about, especially for Cancer, Cancer Lagna, what happens? The 7th house becomes for Capricorn. So Capricorn 7th house, as we know, is for family life, for business, especially partnerships. I was just seeing on the other day that somehow I'm getting so many consultations and other things, especially with this Capricorn and Cancer axis. We should do that research, what questions we get of people and what different lagna and all, and try to see the transits of planets. I think that will shed some light. That will be top research. But anyway, when you have a Cancer lagna, Capricorn comes in 7th house, so issues with your partners, issues with your in marriage and married life. Yesterday, I'm talking about yesterday's case. There was this one guy who came, Cancer lagna, Mars is in the 7th house, Saturn is aspecting the Mars with his third aspect. Saturn is in the 5th house. So Mars is in Capricorn, Saturn is aspecting, and I guess even Rahu is aspecting. The 5th aspect of Rahu also falls on the 7th house, and having many issues with his wife right now. And as you know, Jupiter Saturn already there in Capricorn, so it is in the 7th house. Unfortunately they are going to file a divorce on Saturday, in fact. So all these issues happening because you can see the Cancer and Capricorn axis. So I will say understand each other. That's all I could say. What else you could do? Understand each other and then minimize the problem. Coming to Leo Lagna. In Leo Lagna, your house is occupied by the Capricorn side. So what is 6th house? 6th house is for daily routine, competition, competitive attitude, and all those debt, diseases, and all those things. So you have to watch out for those. Coming to Virgo Lagna, it comes in the 5th house. 5th house is for what? Teaching, for students, for creativity, for learning. So those things will be a major role. Speculation, gains, and all those things. So watch out for those. And then comes the Libra Lagna. Libra Lagna is the 4th house. So that is again another case. Just by experiences, different cases, different when they talk, all those issues. I just see the chart and try to see. So this Libra Lagna person having 4th house is occupied by Capricorn. So a lot of issues for this person who was handling this real estate and property and all those mother issues happening right now. So a lot of themes with respect to that, which is clearly understandable because of the Jupiter Saturn transit in his 4th house. So he has to incur some heavy losses in real estate and other things. So watch out for that. Then you come Scorpio Lagna. Scorpio Lagna you will have in the 3rd house Capricorn. 3rd house is for what? Siblings. 3rd house is for writing, communication, web-based communication, patience, courage, and everything. So some karmas you have to play there, and especially that enhances much more. 9th house, Sagittarius Lagna. Another friend of mine who is Sagittarius Lagna. The 2nd house is Capricorn. He already have 4 planets in Capricorn in his natal chart. Another, now this whole new set of friends are coming to meet them. So it has become a really 4 planets natal position, and now 6 planets having effect. Unfortunately, he is having a lot of problems in work life right now. So he's in US right now, but because of his OPT going to end soon, planning to come back to India and all those things. So all that money issues, financial issues. February 1st week is when his OPT ends. OPT, I don't know whether people know. Some few people may not know. It's for international students, they give certain time to work, and if that ends, you have to find a new visa or something like that, and then you cannot work basically. So a lot of changes for him. 4 planets already there. Now these planets coming in, and he said, and it's exactly on first week of February. He was saying that his OPT is going to end, and it's on the February 10th or 11th. We have this conglomeration of planets. So that was. I'm just remembering events. Whose Lagna I remember. Then comes Capricorn Lagna again, 1st house. So body issues, physical health, mental thoughts. I know some friends, but right now I'm not remembering any major issues going on. Hectic work taking a toll on their body, that I could see with one or two people whom I know. Capricorn Lagna. Aquarius Lagna, 12th house is Capricorn. So events related to that. Nothing major experience for me. Like I don't remember any in my mind for that. But all 12 events will be much more powerful. Watch out for like meditation, spiritual teams, going to some hidden regions, foreign travels can happen for those Aquarius Lagna. And then finally, it's a Pisces Lagna where the Capricorn falls in the 11th house. Elder siblings, profits, collaboration, collaborators, all those. So that's another one thing. So yeah. So wherever your Capricorn sign falls, see that what houses it is. And of course, pay attention to your Vimshotri Dasha analysis and all that. You can just can't take transit effects and all. If your Dasha is very good, you sail through the river, correct? So also you have to take consideration what Dasha you're running, what transits you're running, what natal position of planets, and all that is some mixture of everything. But I'm just talking about in a very broad sense, just talking about the charts, not knowing about the position of planets, wherever the Capricorn side will be, somewhere of that axis, or opposite axis. I always take in astrology, you just cannot take that house. You have to always take the opposite house. That axis is always affected. So watch out for those. Everyone has some lagna or the other. Watch out where your Capricorn falls, which house. And remember, in February, heavy planetary transit coming on. So that type of house themes will play a role. So be prepared. If you are, it's not that sometimes suddenly the events occur where you don't have any control. But if you know that your 10th house is getting affected, and if you are going through some problem of job getting, having some problems or issues in job, then start making appropriate plans. That's what I could emphasize. And then so that in future your problem will be minimized. I won't say it will be gone away, but at least it will be minimized to some extent. And that's what astrology is. You cannot rule out the problem, but at least you can minimize the problem and then go through it. So that's what I will like to say.
Okay, great. So I think we'll just talk briefly about eclipse also, and then we'll just finish. I think eclipse is happening in Scorpio right now. I think it's happening in next week, from at least at this point. So yeah, it's 14 December. Yeah, so it's a very powerful time period to do. You don't in general, I don't advise any clients to make big decisions between the eclipses, between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. Even if you get a new job offer or some shadow thing going on there, you might lose that job by the time the solar eclipse is coming up also. So that's one thing I usually say. The thing is that with the eclipse time, because it's in Scorpio, there's a lot of karma secrets and occult knowledge and so forth. Also, I've seen a lot of unexpected problems can come. Usually 8th house is also Scorpio. Scorpio is also the plumbing of your home. So you might see plumbing kind of problems happening. That's usually if the plumbing is gone. If there is a necessity to change the plumbing, then you might be having that also. That's also kind of thing happening. Eclipse in general, because it's Scorpio also, it is a time period to confront your fears also in many ways. Things that you're afraid, things that you have been afraid for a really long time. You'll begin to see that facing your fears directly is the best thing. Now, this particular eclipse, it will be happening in Jeshta. Now, this is a time period when elder siblings in general are going to go through a big transformation. It doesn't matter, if you are, if you're not in touch with the younger siblings or whatnot, but if you're an elder sibling, if your mother is an elder sibling, if your father is an elder sibling, you'll begin to see that the elder sibling is carrying a specific elder sibling kind of karma or Jeshta. Now, usually these natives will go through a big transformation for sure. Now, if you're the younger sibling, your elder sibling for sure is going through a transformation. I can say that for sure. That is something also that is there. With Jeshta also, there is this thing with secrets and so forth also. Jeshta is also the hidden world, the world that is not known to many people. So you might be dealing with people like that also. That's something that could happen unexpectedly. Jeshta is also come with chronic problems also at the same time. Problems that is requiring a fight, so that only after fighting it out can you win also in the end. So that's also one more thing that can be activated right now. But big thing I can say with Jeshta, this eclipse is a very powerful time period to do sadhana, to do any kind of spiritual practice. Make this eclipse time as time period to do any kind of mantras and so forth. Now, they even recommend to start chanting mantra. If you're planning to start a new mantra practice in your lifetime, the moment when the peak is over, the moment that peak of the eclipse is over, and when literally that eclipse the sun begins to get in that is a very powerful time to start chanting of new mantras in your lifetime. The mantras you chant immediately after the peak of the eclipse will be great for you for the rest of your life. Now, before the peak though, you can do lots of charity. That's something I can recommend. Feed the birds in your place, put some food out for the birds, cats, whatever, right? I can always recommend that. That kind of thing is very good. Before, on the eclipse time, doing mantras is very, very powerful in general, because that they say that even if you chant one mantra during eclipse time, the effects are 1,000-fold more than chanting that mantra is equivalent to chanting that mantra 1,000 times. So, I mean, it's almost worthwhile to just stay up late night and just to chant mantras, like you don't get that kind of opportunity otherwise, so it's almost worthwhile. People who do that, Like on eclipse day, they'll stay up all night, they'll chant mantras, and the rest of the 6 months they won't even chant a single mantra. That kind of thing, because you are getting that effect very strongly on eclipse days. So, if you are planets there, then definitely you're going through a transformation there. 100% you should be doing some kind of mantra chanting during this time period. Otherwise, you're going through a big effect there. Now, if your planets in Jeshta, it's very strong, but you need to be. Now, good thing is that this solar eclipse is happening on the Ketu side of the axis. So usually it's a slightly more easier eclipse compared to the Rahu side of the axis, in my opinion, because Ketu is like more like letting go. It's more like you just have to let go of things that are no longer working out for you and so forth. But in my opinion, when it's happening on the Rahu side, that's a real karmic thing you have to deal with. There's some real karmic thing you have to deal with and all that. And that'll be different. Now, usually eclipse is happening in Scorpio, so definitely themes around deaths, inheritances, all that kind of theme can definitely happen. Usually 8th house Scorpio is also connected with your reproductive organs, your urinary system. So if those systems are not in good condition, you might have problems around that also. I can say that. So try to improve your health of those systems in your life, drink more water, stuff like that, simple things like that. I can really recommend that. On eclipse day in general, they don't recommend you to consume food, when the eclipse is happening. So it said that I've tested it once when the eclipse was visible in Calicut last year. I tried to have the food when the peak was over, but literally you could taste that dark energy when you're having that food in that time period. So you feel like you're consuming, you can even digest that food that has been cooked during that time period, especially when the eclipse is visible in your part. Now, I think in this time period, this eclipse is not visible that much. It's more visible in South America and so forth, not in the US, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe in China it is visible, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's more visible in China, yeah. So definitely there'll be problems come with China and so forth that you can expect in this upcoming year. I mean, it's already heading, so it'll be a very strong thing happening. But usually eclipse in Scorpio in general is this karma secrets, or this karma sudden breaking also. Someone might have suddenly broken in your life. Some relationship might have suddenly broken in your life. This could be business partnerships. This can be a relationship. This can be just simple friendships also. Now, this could also be arguments between siblings. Now, in my opinion, at least the arguments between siblings are the one you need to be controlling. At least you need to make peace there. Now, that'll be the most toughest.
It's not much in China. It's mostly in South America.
Okay, great. Yeah, South America. Great. Thanks for correction that. Yeah. Now the thing is that, in my opinion, arguments between siblings are the ones you really need to control, because they are linked karmically through blood with your own sibling. So that's the best thing I can recommend. If you have problems with sibling, try to make peace. Try to avoid it. Try to maintain peace. Try to play the elder sibling role as is possible within that thing. Because your elder sibling could be going through a hard time anyways. So that's an actual thing you just need to understand. That's one thing I've seen also. But then the best thing I can recommend during this eclipse time is to do worship of Shiva, to do worship of Ganesha, and to actually worship Kal Bhairava also. Kal Bhairava is very powerful during eclipse times. I can really recommend that. In fact, you might usually Jeshta is also connected with earrings, so you might have some problems with ears also potentially during this time period. So I can say that could be that some earrings are not fitting. That could also happen. Jeshta is also connected with spiritual items also, items of spiritual power. So Indra had the Vajrayudh, right? So many times, you might feel obsessed about getting on spiritual item. That kind of thing could happen. Usually I've seen with Jeshta, big thing with Indra is also Indra had to fight the Vritrasura also at the same time. Now, usually there's also a theme with sexuality. Like I said, I think I mentioned one of the last time in the previous video, you might be careful of getting into sexual scandals and so forth, because you might be meeting your past life sexual partners during this time period also. So I cannot emphasize that enough. So that's something just to be aware about. But in general, this is not a good time period to make any big thing anyways. So, you might be careful. So you might as well use that like that. So that'll be my opinion on that front. Anything you would like to add, Aditya, on the eclipse?
No, eclipses, as you said, for the coming eclipse of 14 December 2020, but there are some eclipse dates which I would like to mention for the year 2021. And if you see, there is after 2020, 14th December, we have an eclipse, lunar eclipse on 26th May 2021. And finally, another lunar eclipse on 18th, 19th November 2021. And finally, 4th December 2021 will be a solar eclipse again. Okay, so these are some of the major eclipses. As I said, May and May, June is one eclipse year, one eclipse time, and then another eclipse time is around November, December. So 26th May 2021 lunar eclipse, 18th 19th November 2021 lunar eclipse, and 4th December 2021 is a solar eclipse. But this solar eclipse, let's talk about the solar eclipse. But the solar eclipse is visible only from the most southern region, around the Antarctic region, and also it's not many people live there, so no need to worry about the solar eclipse of 4th December 2021. Well, so there is only lunar eclipses that's going to happen on May 2021 and 18th, 19th November 20. So May and November is okay. And even though the lunar eclipse, I think the 26th May 2021 lunar eclipse is visible from Australia, and also I think not complete eclipse, but at least some part of that eclipse is visible from even from India. I guess India and US, so that region from India to US. So mostly it covers the Pacific region actually. Okay, I guess you may get a chance to take a look of that. But let's talk about the different aspects of eclipse. Now, probably let's talk about the immediate eclipse, which is going to happen on 14 December 2020. It's happening on the Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Jyeshtha Nakshatra is again, as we know, the deity is Indra. What is Indra represent? Indra in your life, Indra can be your boss or something like Jyeshtha, something who is senior to you, something who is basically playing an important role, and maybe the chair, the department head, or something like that. He's basically Jyeshtha for you, or even in your head in your family, maybe your father or something like that can also be a Jyeshtha. So this eclipse is happening over the Jyeshtha. So watch out for those. Maybe problems with them can happen. So do not engage any much conversation with them. Not much into problems with them, because that can trigger an unfortunate event for you. So watch out for that, I will say. Other points which I guess Sandeep did mention. Because Scorpio is related to your private organs and other parts of the body. So be careful with respect to that. And as I said, not drinking of water and all those. And if any problems come, do not just neglect it. Show to the doctor on time and all. Jyeshtha is also connected with the side, which is the water side. So also when you do some water abhishekam to Lord Shiva, by chanting some mantras for Rahu mantras and all that, it can also be very beneficial. Pouring water, because Scorpio is water, pouring water on a linga or do abhishek, very useful. Maybe of course during eclipse time temples are closed, but other times and all you can do that. Sadhana and all can't recommend, because it's very useful time for doing sadhana, because as he told, they have to become 1,000 times manifold. So use that time. And depending upon further, I will strengthen, because it's happening in the Taurus and the Gemini, Taurus and the Scorpio axis. So remember, as per your Lagna, your Taurus and Scorpio axis will fall in different houses. So it can fall in either first seventh or second eighth or third ninth, so and so forth. So watch out for that too, I will say. So these are some of the things that I will. So based on that houses, if it is in third and ninth axis, then probably some travel issues. If it is first and the seventh axis, then you and your wife and all. So depending upon that, I guess when we talk, I guess many people are aware of these houses and axis and all. So we are just saying that. But take those themes and try to understand what to in your chart, try to understand what you're going through, and then look and avoid problems as much as possible you can to enter into those. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, eclipse will definitely trigger unexpected problems, but we have to be prepared for unexpected things also at the same time in our life. Otherwise, life is not life, right? So that's the thing. Usually, you'll find people going into the emergency funding right now. They are one way or the other, they are having to deal with emergency funds. They are having to look into the savings, all that could happen. But in general, I would say this is a great opportunity to bring about big transformation energy into your life. That's just something I can say with eclipse in Scorpio for sure, especially with Ketu being there. I cannot say that. This is spiritual. Now, this could be after the eclipse, you might actually become very spiritual. during this time period. I do think you might actually get an opportunity to attain some spiritual wisdom very easily after this eclipse, because eclipse is happening in Scorpio, Scorpio is the occult sign and so forth. So challenges in our life have an easy way of teaching us very spiritual lessons at the same time. You will learn to appreciate something that you never did before because of the challenges also. So that's the other thing. But now this eclipse is going to bring some challenge, so be prepared for it. That's the best thing I can say. The remedies will work. That's one more thing I can always recommend. Mantras will be the best thing, especially if you are planted Scorpio. You should be doing mantras anyways right now. That's something I could always be recommend. I cannot emphasize enough. But yeah, that's what I would say. Now, one simple thing I can recommend is to go to a lake or a pond or feed fishes there. There's a simple remedy there. Water sign being Scorpio, like what Aditya said. In addition to that, especially you go to a temple, a lake close to your temple, seaside temple, feeding fishes in seaside. Doesn't matter. I think you're feeding some fishes there. Because Ketu is involved. Ketu is Matsya Avatar, and Ketu is also fishes. So that's also one more thing I can really recommend as a simple remedy for this upcoming Ketu eclipse also. I can recommend that. Now there are a lot of things you can do on eclipses. I mean, there are yogis who wait for eclipses, so to chant mantras and do spiritual big sadhanas and so forth. That's also there. I can always encourage anything on that front. Usually in general eclipse happening in Scorpio, you'll find lot of tantric kind of activities happening strongly. People are getting into tantra. People are beginning big time sadhanas unexpectedly. You'll begin to see that particular aspect strongly soon. But yeah, that's what we have now, Ji. Any questions and things? Hopefully we covered all the topics and so forth.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you, Aditya ji, for coming and sharing such profound insights on these events. Thank you.
Great, yeah, sure.
Thanks, Navji.
Thanks.